The Illawarra, a landmass that forms a long, thin strip juxtaposed beside a 450-metre high escarpment to the west and the Pacific Ocean to the east, is located 50 miles south of Sydney. Its geographic isolation and inaccessibility was not subject to European settlement until about 1815. It was found to have rich soil, fresh water supply, abundant precipitation, temperate climate, and potential for agricultural activity. The land, waterways, and industrial environments of the Illawarra have a unique relationship that help to understand environmental concerns at large, shaped by natural and cultural processes altering the Earth system. The natural landscape is disciplined by culture as a sculptural practice, where human intervention on the environment is performed by sculpting into the earth for mining, land clearing for agricultural development, and disturbance of our waterways, and what role art has in delivering a broader awareness. According to philosopher Val Plumwood's essay, The Concept of a Cultural Landscape, the Second Millennium Ecosystem Report exposes the severity of how culture is, quote, degrading and overstressing the natural systems that support human and other lives on Earth, end quote, particularly the degradation of the urbanized creek systems of the Illawarra. The Wollongong Northern Coastal Creeks and Lagoons report reveals Illawarra creeks travel through traditional country, once inhabited by indigenous coastal dwelling people, known to have utilized the creek systems in traditional times. Indigenous perspectives of country hasten the nature-culture dualism. The onset of European settlement brought on a period of tree clearing and cedar harvesting, agricultural activity, coal mining, industrial and urban development, which have and continue to impact the present condition of the creek, which has a unique relationship between nature and culture dating back to the 1860s. Conrad Martins explored these features of the Illawarra landscape through classical, picturesque, and romanticised European perspectives in his painting, Mullet Creek, Illawarra, 1853. He embraced the British Romanticism that argued the destruction of the natural environment and social issues of urbanisation was a high toll to pay for industrial development. Botanist Peter Cunningham, who explored the Illawarra in 1827, was inspired by its vibrant vegetation and temperate climate, and he quoted that it transports you to some far distant tropical region, before colonization and industrial development took precedence, and before the introduction of coal mining that forever transformed the local landscape. According to Val Plumwood's essay, The Concept of a Cultural Landscape, she emphasizes that the severity of our culture is severely degrading and overstressing the natural environment that support human and other lives in our planet. The critical challenge Plumwood puts forth is to help bring awareness to understand the environmental systems that help us to view nature as a field of agency. As stated by Kathleen Stewart, although the Illawarra is no longer utopia and never will be again as portrayed by Martins, it has our communal responsibility to help alleviate environmental decay in our local region, nationally and internationally. I have conducted an interview with a resident of the local area of Victory named Norm, who has lived in the Illawarra region for over 50 years. In the following recording, he gives an account of how the Illawarra landscape in Victory has changed over the past 50 years. In response, I was moved to create a site-specific installation, Recollect, that pays homage to the history of the local area before cultural alteration took hold, and was a response to my experiences of the localized Anthropocene. What was once a utopia is no longer.
At Harry Graham Park, near Arena Hills tennis courts, used to be a slaughter yard, and there was a big oak tree there where they used to hang cattle on, which it's gone now. And in those days too, the creek was quite a windy creek. A fellow who operated the drag line to change it, that took all the bends out of the creek from the heated swimming pool down to Lindsay Park School, said that Johansson Park which was a cricket paddock now, then had a winding creek. And then they filled the bends in, removed all the bends so that now it's just straight all the way from the heated pool down to Lindsay Park School, right down to the highway actually. But he said it was a terrible shame to see all the platypus that they destroyed in all the water holes that was in the old original creek. The whole thing had water holes, and every water hole had a couple of platypus in. But they were all wiped out, young platypus and old platypus, as they removed the bends and then backfilled the creek, so that they then built Johansson Park cricket paddock and Harry Graham Park. That's about it.
The tallest industrial chimney is no longer standing, forever changing the landscape of the Illawarra. For many, it signals the end of the region's industrial era and the opportunity to look forward to the future. Louise Negline, ABC News, Port Kembla.